Are you ready to discover the power of creating a digital copy of yourself? In this video, I'm going to show you how I've built out my second brain and my digital clone and how you can do the same thing. And make sure you watch to the end because I'm going to reveal the 3 tools you need to create your second brain right now. The technology is now available to you to create this digital clone of yourself. Basically a second brain that never forgets anything, is able to utilize the information and content you consume, and is able to keep you more organized and more successful in every area of your life. To understand the power of the second brain and what's possible, we have to start to think and break down what we as humans do on a daily basis. And if you try to bring it down to its most basic parts, what humans do the most all day, every day, in one way, shape, or form, is communicate. And there's different types of communication, and all are extremely important. Number one is that intrapersonal communication, right? Communicating with yourself every single day. There's thoughts swirling around your head. You want to keep those organized. Communicate with yourself and an effective strategy. You also have that interpersonal communication, right? Communicating with either your staff or your colleagues on a daily basis. And additionally, there's external communication where you're communicating with clients or prospects, both one-on-one and publicly. All of these forms of communication provide a critical role in your success because without them, you're going to fail. Right? If you can't communicate with your clients, you're not going to do very well. If you can't communicate with your staff, your colleagues, you're not going to do very well. If you can't communicate with yourself, you're really in big trouble. For a second, just try to think about how much communication and information you consume on a daily basis. It is absolutely insanity. I feel like even in the past decade, I'm consuming 10 times as much content now on a day than I was in a week previously. Now, if you go back even further, try to think of thousands of years ago, or even just a few hundred years ago. Think about how hard it was to consume any type of content back then. Even 500 years ago, getting your hands on a book was like getting your hands on a piece of gold, right? It was so valuable because someone had to actually hand copy that book. So you had to probably be very wealthy to even have access to a book to read. Or if you wanted to see some type of art, you had to create it yourself or hope that there was an artist in your local village or have a lot of money to get some of the top tier art that existed. As time went on, the mediums changed. Only wealthy people had access to a radio. Then only wealthy people had access to a TV and the internet. Eventually, the masses got access to all of those things, but for a long time, it was very difficult to consume content. And back then, most of the content you were consuming was auditory, right? You were taking in information through your ears because people were talking, which is why storytelling was so important, right? That was the vast majority of any type of communication that took place hundreds and thousands of years ago. Think about how different communication with your clients was then. If you were a blacksmith and someone came to you and explained they needed a new axe to be able to chop down some trees, you had the order, you made it, and commerce took place. Compare that to just thinking a thought and quickly going to your phone and talking to it and having it order something that's to your door in under 2 hours. Commerce was different and content's different. Think about trying to see something that you wanted to see. You had to see it in real life before video existed. Now you can go to YouTube and type in almost anything you want and you can watch it in seconds. So let's flash back to about a year and a half ago. I had one of those days that I'm guessing you've probably had too. So much took place over an 8-10 hour span. I consumed so much content and so many things happened that I was literally burned out. I was in back-to-back meetings. In between that, I was trying to eat lunch and listen to a podcast to learn something new about marketing strategies. Then immediately I was on with my internal team. Then I was reading articles, industry-specific news. After that, I was watching YouTube videos at night to also master my craft. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm taking in so much information, but how much am I actually using? How much is actually being leveraged? How much am I remembering? Drop in the comments if you ever had a day like that and what the day was like. It really had me thinking when I was laying there in bed, just with my head spinning, trying to digest the information. I wish there was a way to keep this all organized. I wish there was a repository of all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the experience that I've gathered over the years, all of the content that I'm consuming that's quality. I wish I had access to that in a way that was actionable. That's when I had this epiphany where I was like, okay, AI exists and databases exist. What if I create a database of myself and train the AI on it? After like a few hours of research, I realized this was actually possible. All right, to create the perfect life operating system in Second Brain, you've got to reverse engineer what you do every day, right? So let me know if your day consists of the same things that mine consists of, which is things like having meetings, writing emails, communicating with your staff, with clients, thinking of ideas, learning new things, reading articles, watching videos, listening to podcasts, and that's just the start of it, right? That's by 9 a.m. Then you're going on social media, you're talking to friends, you're talking to family, you're checking your fantasy football. Hopefully you're better than I am at fantasy because I'm terrible right now. And all that information we need to exist in a database, right? We need to get our meeting notes into the database so they can be accessible. The ideas we think of, all of our notes, the articles we're consuming that are quality and that we want to remember, as well as the same thing with videos, books, and podcasts. All that needs to exist along with our to-dos in this database. And all that information needs to be stored inside of the second brain. And we are going to use a tool called Notion that I'm going to walk you through right now on how we use that. Take a look at my Notion dashboard here. This is my life operating system, right? This is the information that's stored inside of my second brain. And in here I have everything. I have a directory that shows everything I might want or need, including my planner, my journal, goals, milestones, wish list for gifts, everything you could think of. I have a daily planner in here, which you probably have as well. I can keep track of my routine. Let's go ahead and click on planner to show you what that looks like here for a second. Clicking on anything opens it up. So I can see this week's to-dos along with completed to-dos, priorities. This in itself, I understand, is not revolutionary, right? Because you probably use some type of project management tool and task tracking system. It's the fact that all of these things are in one place and they are in a conversational AI format that you can have a conversation with your second brain. I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. Additionally, there's things like goals and milestones where I can see progress bars. Who doesn't like to see themselves actually making progress towards a goal, right? I can see what I've recently completed, and with just a click, I will get inside of one of these goals and milestones. Click there, and here we are. Take a look at this. I can see what this is for, what area of life I'm focused on, and what action items apply to this goal or milestone. Now we'll scroll down further. I've got all this content that I want to consume. You probably want to consume content. You come across an article, what do? Maybe you bookmark it? I have 10,000 bookmarks. You probably do too that I never get to. So this puts it in a place I can access it and remember, right? And I've categorized it because sometimes I'm in a place where I can't listen to something. So I've got articles. Other times I'm in a place I can't watch something. I've got podcasts. I've got videos on here, even Twitter threads. I've got the books I'm reading with a progress bar, upcoming birthdays so I don't forget, and much more. Additionally, I've got my travel coming up. I've got websites I want to research, even movies and shows I want to watch next so I don't forget that. You know, you have that argument with your wife or your spouse. We should watch this, we should watch that. Hey, let's just go to the board. Now let's click in. I got my daughter's birthday trip. I've got everything planned out, where I'm going, where I'm staying, the whole nine. Now to create something like this, you're going to need a few apps. This is where the rubber meets the road. So let me show you what those are. Here's about what you need, and it's gonna depend on what you do on a daily basis because you don't wanna reinvent the wheel, but you want the Readwise app, the Reader app, some type of note-taking system for your meetings. I use Fireflies, Twitter, or any other app you're going to leverage that you want to feed into Notion. So let's show you Reader and Readwise. It's the same company, two different apps. What it allows you to do is pretty amazing. I'm gonna give you a quick demo here. So I can be on any article that exists, and I can just click this Readwise button, and it's going to pop up here, and it's going to automatically save it to my Reader app, which I'll show you. But additionally, it will allow me to cherry pick what I want to remember. So let's say I highlight this, I might take a note, Bitcoin stats, save. Now I've got this accessible to me in a way that I can reference it, remember it, and it's all stored inside of my life operating system. Now let me show you where all of this is stored, right? Inside this dashboard, you have a library of everything you want to consume, the articles, the books. You can have emails in here, tweets, videos, anything you want can be inside here. You almost have a homepage of content that you want to consume or that you have consumed. So that's cool in and of itself. If you just get Readwise, I think it'll be a game changer for you to keep you organized to what you want to watch, listen to, read every single day. On top of keeping track of content that you're consuming, you're also generating content. What I mean by that is you're having meetings on a regular basis, right? You're meeting with your staff, prospects, clients, etc. So something like Fireflies, and there's other ones out there, but Fireflies I think is great, and it transcribes all of your meetings, takes notes, summarizes them, etc. And inside the dashboard, it does have a integration with Notion, which is awesome. So now you also, inside of your second brain, have a database of all the meetings you've ever had. Hopefully this is getting your wheels turning, you're getting excited, thinking about what's possible, how you can stay super organized by using a tool like this, how everything's accessible to you, and in one place for your entire life. That's just a quick example of a tech stack that you can leverage to create this second brain. And why is it a second brain, right? All I've really showed you is an organized database at this point. The second brain comes with a Notion AI. This is an upgraded feature they have where you're able to talk to the AI, if you make it accessible, that's up to you, and ask it questions about anything inside of your database. So in this example, I'm asking it to summarize an article that I put in there and give me some actionable strategies, and it does that. I'm creating this AI of all of the best content that I've consumed, the best videos that I've watched, all of my meeting notes, all my ideas, everything in a conversational way. right? It's like talking to a mirror of myself that doesn't forget things, super well organized, and has access to all of that knowledge instantly. Furthermore, you can actually give someone on your team access to this second brain, right? Or parts of it. You might not want them having access to the whole thing, but imagine if your staff, you're a business owner watching this, being able to ask your second brain questions rather than you all day long. Sounds like a science fiction dream world, right? But it is totally possible. Now you know the basic framework for creating your own second brain and your life operating system. And you can grab these tools and start playing around with them right away. There are fantastic videos. Just search YouTube and you'll see other videos that explain and get into the weeds on how to press the buttons and be very technical. But I hope this provided some value and insight in terms of what is possible and what steps you need to take to achieve this goal. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I'm going to continue to build this out and drop as much information as I can and help you be more efficient, more effective, and grow your business. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.